Hey everyone, Megan here from Libra Living Wellness for the 25th video of Libra Living Liberations. I always have a hard time saying that. Um, and today I want to talk about mindful thoughts. Last time I talked about mindful words. So very similar idea, but thoughts I feel I want to say they happen more often. Like we have so many thoughts going through our minds each and every day. And a lot of times we're really not aware of them because sometimes a thought will come in and go out as quickly as it comes in. And with everything, and I that I kind of talk about with dealing with emotions or stress and things, it is that awareness and bringing that awareness into our lives where I'm pretty sure I mentioned that on the mindful words, is being aware of the words we use, but also being aware of the thoughts that come in. Especially because a lot of times our thoughts are very automatic. Um, they just kind of happen and we have an instant thought about something that could be based on lots of different things. But it's really, again, bringing that awareness to our thoughts and making sure that they are positive. And if we do have some negative thoughts popping up, then we may need to be like, okay, well, why am I having these negative thoughts? And we may have to kind of work through some things to kind of create a better um, thinking system. And kind of get rid of those negative thoughts. Easier said than done with anything. It takes practice. It takes that repetition of awareness and catching our thoughts. Because again, our thoughts are so automatic. I think I mentioned last time, I might have talked about doing dishes. I always use that example. So I always say, "Oh, I hate doing dishes." And again, it's having those I have negative thoughts about doing dishes. And maybe I have to spend some time, well, why do I have those negative thoughts about doing dishes, right? So, I think in terms of mindful thoughts, sometimes there's just with words too, but I find there's deeper meaning um in terms of thoughts. So, cuz I think a lot of times we have our thoughts first and then we say the words. So, um if we're having negative thoughts, we're going to say negative words. So, again, it's that awareness that we need to bring in. um and, if we're having negative thoughts about something, discovering, okay, well, why am I having negative thoughts about this? And figuring out how to change them to something more positive and uplifting. Because again, we don't want to stay in this pit of negativity. Um, you know, it is gonna happen. I think it is inevitable that we will have those negative thoughts. We will have those negative words, but it's again bringing in that awareness to catch ourselves and to learn to do better and to say, okay, I'm thinking negatively. Let's see how we can change this to something more positive because we all want to be living our best lives and we don't want to be staying in pits of negativity. So, I encourage you again to bring that awareness into your thinking and be mindful of the thoughts that you're having and be able to catch those negative thoughts, change them to something positive, or spend a little time with yourself discovering why you're having those negative thoughts in the first place. So I encourage you to be mindful of your thoughts. And until next time.